Welcome back to my next golf technique video. Today is about three very simple things that can turn a modest golfer with a 25 handicap into a really good golfer. There are three very simple things that, in my opinion, make the difference. Today is about how you can play more consistently. Today is about how you can consistently play straight and long. Because today is about how you become a better golfer. And for that, you need three things. And these three things, summarized, I'll call them grip, setup, which is its own point, and backswing, the takeaway motion. If you do these three things right, 1, 2, 3, grip, setup, backswing, then I can guarantee you will perform really well the next time you're on the course. And I want to start right away with the topic of the grip. For me, grip is just a subcategory. I actually prefer to call it arm structure because the grip is usually just about the hands. So I'm actually much more concerned with the arms. I would like your left arm to be rotated inward 45 degrees. If this is 0 degrees and this is 90, then this would be 45 degrees. And that is exactly how your left arm should be placed on the grip, starting from the shoulder joint. Your right arm is also very important for a few things, such as the swing path and the angle of attack. But that is a small digression. The right arm should definitely be rotated outward so that the crook of your elbow faces forward. How much? Well, as much as possible. And your right forearm should come into a pronated position. This is supination and this is pronation. And your only task is to maintain this arm structure throughout the entire swing. As I said, the right arm should be placed this way because it puts your right arm in position. And if you stay within this arm structure, then your right elbow will work correctly and you will be able to easily hit the ball from the inside. Easily, in the sense of it being repeatable. So point 1 is arm structure. Point 2 is the correct setup. The setup is now about whether you want to have a shallow or a steep angle of attack. And that always depends on the ball's lie. This means that before you hit a ball, it is very important to first analyze the ball's lie. And that's what most of my golfers certainly get wrong. They just go and say, oh yeah, now it's time for a fairway wood because it's the second shot on a par 4. Yes, but if the ball's lie doesn't allow it, then you might not be able to hit a fairway wood, for example. At the very least, you need to pay attention to your setup and favor a steeper angle of attack. Because with a shallow angle of attack and a bad lie, you would have no chance of hitting the ball well. Let's just say that as a brief introduction. And how you can now influence your angle of attack is very simple. You go ahead and place your sternum more or less to the right of your belt buckle, because the more tilt you have, the more you are tilted, the shallower your angle of attack will be. And the further left both swing centers are, meaning the sternum and belt buckle, the steeper your angle of attack will be. Just please always make sure that for all the balls you hit off the ground, without a tee, your sternum is never, ever to the right of the ball. Because then you would probably have thin and fat shots in your repertoire. Yes, that is very important. And the last point, which is extremely important, is the correct backswing, the takeaway motion. It's about the right tilt, or rather the right amount of turn, tilt, and extension, rotation, tilt, and straightening up, and about the correct positioning of the left arm. But I'd like to explain that on the next tee shot, yes. Here we go, par 5, attack, out with the driver, and bring on the draw. I have the arm structure, and it stays just as it is. And then it comes the high draw, all by itself. How beautiful is that, please? Wonderful, isn't it? I couldn't do it, I think, for 30 years, to be honest. shot 222 meters are left, and I have a 4-iron in my hand. The question now is, can I get the second shot on the green here on the par 5? That would make me really happy. I would find that really, really cool. But there's still a lot of work to do, to be honest. Grip down a little because of the slope. A shallow angle of attack. Why a shallow angle of attack? The ball is on the fairway, which means I don't need to come in steeply. I'm pushing my pelvis really, really forward so that it can go in nice and high. It's going high, but it's just slightly to the left. Oh, I think it hit the bunker. That would, of course, be really tough and a bit disappointing, to be honest. But at least the angle of attack was shallow, which means the setup was right. Congratulations, Philip. Okay, I was able to clear the bunker. It looked different from back there. Whether that's very positive, I don't know, to be honest, because I don't exactly have a premium lie here either. A premium lie would be on the fairway. Here the ball is in the rough, which means I need a steeper angle of attack. That means point number 2, so 1 was the arm structure, 2 was the setup. I have to make sure that both swing centers, the belt buckle and the sternum, are to the left of the ball. This applies to short shots, to chips, and also to long shots for shots with the 4-iron, the 3-wood, and whatever else. So if the ball has a bad lie, move both swing centers to the left. Here we go. Go in. Go in. Why don't you go in, my friend? Just why? By the way, this is the little brother of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Leaning Flag of Tal. Yes, hello flag. It's not really straight, I would say. But yes, we have a windy day today. And I have the first birdie on my scorecard. Let's keep it going. And with that, let's continue, and we come to the third easy, simple point that will make you a better golfer. To the third and at the same time, last point. Once again, a quick recap. The first 2 points were arm structure and setup, so both are in the static part. In the dynamics, in the swing, it's now about positioning your body correctly and placing your left arm correctly. So I'm always talking about the correct backswing here. And to make sure you get the right tilt, the correct inclination, I'd like to ask you to get into your setup. Place the club here behind your shoulders. And then you make sure that the grip end is pointing about 10 to 20 centimeters in front of the ball. And all of this without moving your head up, down to the right or to the left. Your head should really stay very still during this. Ideally, it shouldn't move a single millimeter, because then you have the right amount of tilt, turn and extension, rotation, tilt and extension. And the second thing that's very important is the left arm. I would like your left arm to be placed cleanly. Cleanly, meaning 30 degrees, offset 30 degrees inward from the ball's target line. That's where your left arm should be positioned. Because only when your left arm is in this position are you able to swing neutrally towards the ball. Because from this exact position, you will find your way back to the ball without any problems. Most of my students try to straighten their left arm, and with the idea of straightening the left arm, unfortunately, they are far too often way too far in front. And that makes the angle of attack steep and the swing path from the outside, and you really have problems hitting the ball cleanly. So it will be better if the left arm is offset 30 degrees inward, because then the hands would be on the right plane, and then you would be able to hit the ball super easy. And that is a very, very important point when it comes to becoming a good golfer. The correct tilt, meaning the correct inclination and the correct position of the left arm. And if you pay attention to these 3 things, yes, really cool, then I can guarantee you, you will perform really, really well on the course in no time. Par 3, relatively short. Let's go. Good contact, good shot. But 1 club short. Bingo. Bango. Bongo. Thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, as always, I would like to thank you very much for watching. And I want to remind you one more time, if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, then please do that right away and click on the bell, because that's the only way you'll get notified when a new video goes online. People keep asking me why I don't post videos anymore, and I believe I'm one of the few, if not the only, German-speaking golf YouTuber who posts videos really very, 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 very regularly in any case. And so that you can see these videos, please, it's very important to subscribe to the channel and to click on the bell to activate the notification bell, because that's the only way you'll always be notified when a new video goes online. I wish you a very nice evening and a good game. Take care. Bye.